Chodan Soki Choknamba, Janju Padu Dagi Gyatsuchi, Dagi Tuyin Ipe Sonaki, Chola Penche Sangye Dru Harshu.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How are you today? How's the temperature? Cold, hot? It's okay? Good. Not too cold? No. Good. Not too hot?
Okay for you?
I'm good, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, anyway. What we it's very important to set up good motivation. We always talk again and again, but just mention what's important. And secondly, I think everybody knows what's motivation, how you set the motivation, you know. 선제 단축을 취해도 사지 공부하는 것이죠. 이게 쉬어도 그게 나는 것이 쉬는 주시기
So, in order to attain enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings, for that reason, we practice the Dharma or listen to the Dharma or teach the Dharma.
Okay? Then usually, of course, they know, still students, they know what to do practice, daily practice. But still, gamble.
Yeah, senior and junior students.
Even some junior students, they need some practice that they don't know what to do. You know? Actually, there are many different ways, but usually, if you keep the simple ones, you know, usually every day, Sunday, we do before teaching start, you know, there's some phrase here. If you like to do this daily practice, this, we don't need too many pilgrims. You know, this is enough. You can recite, you know, slowly every day when you have time. And also, more important, what they talk about. You know, we recite the blah, 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 usually, I don't know, Western people, when they to read something, they have to understand what they talk about. Usually Tibetans, they don't know about that. They don't know what they talk about. Anyway, this is now all the Buddhism practice include just this short prayer. First we say Buddhism's main practice and refuge. Right? Refuge means why we need to refuge. Why we need protection, you know, protection. Refuge means protection, right?
Yeah.
Protection. Therefore why we need, from what? From where? From who we need protection? You know, we really born here, we really grow up. You know, we can do whatever we think, but still we need to build protections. From where? For who? We think about not just our life, daily life. Even animals, they really born, they can spend their life, good or bad, doesn't matter. You know, what is that?
Kiene mashi.
Kieni mashi partner, Dindu Ibaidaya, Susu Gotungaris.
Gotungaris.
Gotungaris. They can protect you.
So from the time they are born up until they die, animals pass their life in Gotunga.
To take care of their...
And they take care, yeah. They will take care of their son, right? Even animals, even fish, they're looking for some fruit, They can take care of their son. But human beings think about some different way. Therefore, we Buddhism believe past, future life. We believe some samsara. We believe some, we call hell. Maybe people doesn't like to hear this, but we believe that, hungry ghosts. We can see hungry ghosts, right? We can see animal ghosts, right? No one wants to burn the animals. No one wish to burn the
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Nobody wishes to be born as an animal.
The animals, right? Hungry ghosts, cows, chickens, birds. Maybe some people like to burn the very nice dog. Right? Maybe cats. But just forgot that ourselves, animals, even we keep our home dogs or cats, but they're not very free of it. When they go out, they like to go around, but we put some
Leash or collar. Yeah, leash.
But then they're not want to go outside, we put them. Also, they like to eat all the time, but we give enough, right? Usually they good, of course they could be good take care of them, but their lives also not very free of, right? But this was all just small. Now we think about, we say, I need to protection someone protect for me from where we say,
So the protection from what? The protection from the suffering of samsara and of bad rebirth or bad migrations. Yeah, those lower realms.
Now that protection is why we need protection from them. We don't want to burn them.
Yeah, we don't want to be born there. We wish not to be born there.
We don't see the head of them. We don't want to burn the outside animals, hungry ghosts, right? Therefore, usually protect, even regular protection means, some bodyguards, they have been gone. They can protect us, we behind that. But this protection is not there. Okay. You scared, and we have to scare too.
To be reborn. And so we need to have a fear of being reborn in the lower realms, lower rebirths. Yes. And samsara in general.
Right? 다 나도 될 지식자가 있나요? 말아서 나도 될 마티와 나도 다시 제대로 말했어.
다시
듣고 말했어요. 듣고.
So right now we don't know the method. Maybe
we don't wish to be born in samsara or those three lower realms of suffering, but right now we don't have a method to prevent ourselves, to save ourselves from born into those states.
Then we can looking for some who has this power, who can show some path for us, who didn't know things that they teach for us. They do teach it wrong way, right? Because the teacher doesn't know what to do. Then he says something about the wrong way. Therefore, now who protect for us? We say Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Because Buddha knows what's the method to free from samsara or for the heralds. The Dharma is real the Dharma nyamne cheni, Dharma nyamsu mambala teni, kowa nyamsu mambala troll.
So by Dharma is the thing by practicing which you prevent being reborn in the lower realms or that's the thing that actually protects you from the actual protection from the suffering of bad rebirth.
Buddha said that
So the Dharma, Sangye is the Dongbako, the teacher, the leader. The shower, yeah. So the one who reveals the refuge. So what does he reveal? He reveals that if you put into practice the Dharma that he teaches, then you will be protected from the rebirth in samsara and the suffering of lower realms. And who is the aid in this effort is the Sangha.
Bad qualities, all are bad, good bad qualities, all the have good qualities. Good is positive.
So the Buddha is the one who has abandoned all negative qualities or deficiencies and has amassed all good qualities. So what is it that we need?
He knows. He knows
what
we need.
Yeah.
Why we go to samsara, all the suffering. He knows exactly. Right?
Yeah.
Therefore,
everything was that everything that I missed from the Tibetan. I think Geshe translated his own Tibetan.
Therefore, he knows how you show the path. You know, service there. We call it. We use the anyway, therefore, 산책이 제가 신기하자 아니 나도 출신처럼 신청 말로 말로 love you this. He teach for unmistaked teaching for us. Right? He teach for unmistaked teaching.
Unmistaken. He teaches unmistaken path. Correct path.
다 들이 파트 가르쳐서 문이 제나 동반 인문수 도블로 들이스. 동반 인문수 도블로 들다 죽어주문에 들이스.
이게 인문수 도블로
동반
동반이 인문수 도블로.
로테 다 죽어주문에 들이스.
Okay, so the real Dharma jewel is the mind which directly realizes emptiness.
다 얘나 만두다나 동반 인문수 도요. 저 도도였어.
So right now we don't have the realization of emptiness.
Right? 얘나 다 말하는 줄이라 뭐게 찍고 수준이 왔나? 그때 죽고 저도 representative 뭐게 찍고 수준.
So, but if we so if we give up the 10 non-virtues, then I didn't get
so
it.
the virtue that abandons the 10 non-virtuous actions, that can become a substitute similar.
Right?
So that in our continuum is similar to the virtue.
같이 무게와 저 마체와 때 개와 줘. 대 양양도 지나 아니 다 그냥 돌돌 먹어봐.
So if we abandon the 10 non-virtues, and another way of saying that is if we practice the 10 virtues again and again, our continuum, our practice becomes higher and higher.
then loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta,
so if we think again and again about loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta, again and again, then our mind it elevates, becomes elevated higher and higher.
되게 죽고 죽는 데 대해서 당나무 잡는 데 죽고 죽어. 잡는 데 죽고 죽어.
So the real refuge is the Dharma jewel.
대마시 부다 요는 나도라 멜레 라파스네. 나 치체요 말스 치토 말스. 부다 now available. 부다의 사제기 먼저 cap how he protect for us. He showed the real path for Dharma teaching. He showed that way he protect for us that. Not you us go to anybody's hand. Okay, follow me. He cannot do that.
Yeah, it's clear, right? Everyone got it. I didn't understand the phrase about the hand.
So he's saying that the way that the Buddha really protects us, or shows us, is by teaching us the Dharma jewel, which is the real protector, the practice of which will really protect us from the sufferings of cycle existence and of the three unfortunate lower rebirths. But the way that the Buddha shows us or teaches us is not by leading us by the hand and placing us into a safe place.
Also, Buddha said, I am not transfer my knowledge for you. Buddha, he taught for us. He said, oh, how I protect for you guys. I'm not protecting you, my knowledge to transfer you. Also, I'm not taking your sufferings. You as doctors, check out things, what's the sickness.
Surgery.
Yeah, surgery.
Cutting something out.
Not do that. I cannot take your sufferings by my hand. Also, I cannot wash your suffering, negative karma, sins. Dishwash. You cannot wash them. Then how Buddha protect for us? How Buddha live for us? He said, I show you real path. Then you have to practice that. You have to follow that.
Yeah, that's very clear.
So,
Yeah, you're doing
okay?
good.
Right? Then what he showed, he said, don't do 10 on virtues. There are a lot of things, but don't do 10 on virtues. Do the 7 lamp practice. Right? This is
7 in prayer.
7 lamp prayers. Therefore, now we refuge for Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, right? We refuge for them. Then when, how long, for what? He said, when for all century. Dak Shusu Jibe, Simbala Pajana. Namsu Semti, Samsula, Marangi, Geva Kama Chepati, Semti Saji Kumbatu, Jiro shows, Saji Matu Patan, I got Chili's.
So, how long, Geshe was asking, how long do we go for refuge? The extent of that is until you achieve the enlightenment for the benefit of other sentient beings. Then whatever virtuous things that you do, you dedicate to that achievement of enlightenment until you attain it. And until you achieve enlightenment, you go for refuge, for protection to the three jewels.
다 대라 나도 당분이라 점부 센터라 사지 주고 당분 더 쇼가 당
Yeah, 사기 주는
사지 받았다 나 시설지 뭐라고 사지 당분 점부.
Okay, so in the when we say the prayer at the beginning in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, until enlightenment I seek refuge. Like the first line is the going for refuge. So those two.
Second line is something.
Okay, and then the second line after that until let's see in the
So
Buddha,
first
Dharma.
two lines. First two lines are for
Yeah,
refuge.
in Tibetan they were called tiktung. So one, it's like made of 2 feet. Anyway, the first line in Tibetan becomes 2 in English. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha, until enlightenment I seek refuge. And then the second 2 after that, how did they go in English?
You can
Huh?
mirror it in this sort of way.
Yeah. So anyway, the second 2 after that, which is, dedicating your merit or whatever to attain enlightenment for the benefit of sentient beings, that is the generation of bodhicitta. So you have in that prayer condensed both going for refuge and generation of bodhicitta.
그래서 간제 하고 뭐저가 소리 잡수는 거를 아니 자기 거도 줬으나 잡수는 그래서 가르쳐도 사제도 그래서 고와 등화를 좀 그래서 그래서.
So why is it that we have refuge in the 3 jewels in the first line there? It's to protect ourselves from the suffering of samsara,
So who do we, when we say we go for refuge, to whom do we go for refuge? The three jewels. And the purpose or the reason for going to refuge in the three jewels is to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all its beings, for the benefit of others, and also to protect ourselves from the suffering. So it's like the existence in one words.
Okay.
Thank you.
근데 다 선제 탐주체의 가치에 산지 도구나 아니 선제는 대화는 되는지 이거는 이거 증식 이거 증식 그래서
So then, okay, is it why we seek enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings, or how we seek? Anyway,
아
did you hear? I didn't get it. Which letter?
그래 다 디오가 아니 세미시만 그래서 세미시기 나는 저는 아주 단다 선제들 사대고가 토쇼기 셈디아 공부를
Right. So then, after we do the first prayer, which includes the refuge and generation of bodhicitta, following that, in order to increase the bodhicitta, the motivation to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of sentient beings, we have immediately following the four immeasurables. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they have happiness and the causes of happiness. Those four afterwards are to develop the mind of bodhicitta further.
아니 뒤에 오더라도 사실 좀 된다 또 배우지 또
Then after that we have the praise of the Buddha.
아니 뒤에 오더라가 냠내 가르치거든요. 손을 셈 들고 그래서 나는 셈 용수도
Yongsudu, then Rangi Semi Yongsudu. The Rangi Semi Yongsudu di Tongori. Then Karmaka.
근데 이제 아니 다 주님이 가르쳐 가르쳐야겠나 또 손을 셈 들고 그래서 셈 나는 셈 들고 그래서
So then, hang on, I'm just finding the page so I can actually read the prayer correctly. Okay. So then after the four immeasurables, there's the praise to the Buddha, followed by those verses underneath, where you have...
Page 13.
Yeah, page 13, that's right. So on page 13, you have the condensation of kind of Buddha's entire teaching at the very bottom of the page. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. The reason for this shows that the point of the practice is to discipline your own mind.
내가 디바데 또 문제가 제일 디바지
Yeah, so do not commit any non-virtuous actions. This means the 10 non-virtuous actions.
개와 분순 소바시에 해야지 개와 분순
So the principle, the main
Principle.
is that among the non-virtuous actions for the 10 non-virtuous actions.
아니 디바 개와 분순 소바시나 조와 루이신 죽슨 같은 게
Joa.
여기
Yeah, the beginning, the actual act itself.
제가 free
Yeah, so Anila,
So
continue
how
to
we for the perform only perfect virtuous actions, how we go about performing those perfect virtuous actions is by preparing well the three parts of the beginning, middle, and the end, which is the beginning was usually explained as motivation, intention, actual is the actual practice that you'll be engaging in, and the final is the dedication of the virtues that you created through that practice.
아니 또 소수 셈 돌아대 다 내가 지금 그래서 셈으로
Right, so the main thing here is to subdue your own mind. That is the very importance.
sabruchegadi kondo sawoina ne kondo yota trato sawan trato yota I something I just move down this.
So by subdue, it means here like when anger is arising, to decrease the anger. To decrease, correct? Yeah.
To suppress.
Suppress.
Yeah.
And aside from anger, then also jealousy, and then also the sense of I, the strong feeling I.
Yes. 다 가르쳐나 다 단단히 조금 채우면서 근데 가만히 내가 남들이 세대 인사 내가 말했어. 이건 처음 왔다 가는 거지. 우리 세 our life is too short.
Yeah.
Not too long. 이거 가만히 하는 조금 싫어 그랬어. 조금 채우면서
This
처음 왔다 가는
the next one. So then the verse following that you have the star, a mirage, the flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, sea conditioned things as such. The reason for this verse being placed here is to think about the brevity of life, that things are fleeting, death and impermanence. So if you think, I will soon die, then you think also, I need to practice quickly. I can't wait until I retire to start practicing. I need to do it now, today. I don't understand the last part. Page 12.
Use
Opportunity to.
opportunity to retirement or not.
I don't know. When you retire, you said retire.
Retirement
Or at a time retirement.
So it's more likely that the time of retirement, whether we'll be able to use it or not, to actually benefit from it or not, it's more likely that we won't be able to use it or benefit from it.
So that's why this verse is here. That's the meaning of the verse coming after that. So in a sense, we could just say, like, in a simple way, the first one is giving you the layout, what are the main points of practice, and the second one is saying, do it now. Don't wait.
That shows the method.
The 7 limbs.
The 7 limbs.
Yeah. But then what did he say after that?
Relationship. To show then after this, what is the best way to practice, that is the 7-minute prayer, and to show how the method or the way to practice the 7-minute prayer is to show that then we have the Geshe Ngawang Tenley prayer, which contains those 7 minutes.
After that,
So after
when this is over, yeah.
or then after, if you go like to meditation emptiness, then okay, here they show to work on. Sharanimo, Heart Sutra. They talk about, it is the Mandu Mambegi, Yamin Chasam, and I'm going to show you that Chasam do this. Chasam do this.
Chasam do that.
Chasam, Yamin Chasam. All
the practices abbreviated, shortened, abridged into a convenient form is contained in these prayers that we recite.
Okay. Therefore, we don't need to, I want to practice, I don't find what can I do? Not looking very far. I don't have any practice because I don't get any impairments. It's completely wrong. Right? No need to practice, no need impairments. They do us daily practice. Every day if you read this again, also think about the meaning, why, what they talk about. Right? They're all the practice include for them. You see, if you do, of course you can do more than that. For us, people like me, this enough. Otherwise, we have a lot of commitments. We say, I don't finish too rush, no time. And sometimes we worry, I have to commit, I have to finish, and they're not, but always check. Check what? Check this. Now we have to pay tax, right?
Tax?
Yeah, no choice, we have to pay tax.
Yeah, there should be taxes.
Take.
It's very good thing. Someone said, have to do that.
It's
You have the
required.
choice.
Yeah, it's compulsory, I guess. I don't know. Compulsory means like you have to do it. You have
You
no
have to
choice.
do no choice.
Yeah.
Therefore, we need commitments, we have initiation, we have no choice. We have to do the practice.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, very compulsory. When you take the commitments, like when you take initiation, you agree that you will do the practice from then onward for the rest of your life, every day. So, in that sense, like,
Then that kind of people, we said, we have to do all the body, I have to do that, I didn't finish, I'm not chant, or still I have to last things, we hold the body. Therefore, we are not just commitment, but daily do this. When you have chant, when you laugh, when you are happy. Then meditation means also think about that meaning. It's meditation. When you meditation, you have to think of something, not just to cross the eye, don't move. They are not called the meditation. You have to some subject, investigation that, or more and more familiar with this subject, again and again and again. Then you more familiar. For example, you can think about it, maybe compassion with each other, loving kindness. Think about this kind of mind, develop, think again and again and again. Then more easy. Is good?
Yeah.
Okay, this is how do you say? About Buddhism, about short practice. Then we can go to the real text. Real text always welcome. Another. Good moment to use. Good moment.
Good.
Good is
False.
real text shows. Real text talk about for us, our force. And 나 아까서는 단단한 미리들라 다와제 주어제 상이 미리들라 그랬어.
Okay, so now we are talking about the human life, which is complete with the 8 endowments and the 10, or the 8 freedoms and the 10 endowments. I'm in the blue book, and it's on we are around page 272.
We're actually for the
Yellow book.
yellow brown cover is page 310.
Okay.
What's the heading? I'm sorry.
The heading, I think, did we finish the freedoms? Or we're almost done with the heading, the freedoms, number 106.
Good. 다 가서 달와라는 콤마라고 주변에서는 달와는 콤마.
Tawa means komba. So the freedom means like komba, like satisfaction, or what do you say?
달와.
Mikom means like unsatisfactory. Kom must mean.
달와 콤마.
Yeah, tawa means to be free from something. Kom, I think, means to have like a good state, basically, something which is satisfactory.
가리 콤마는 휴식 콤마래요. 휴식.
Yeah. How is it satisfying? Because you have awareness of Dharma.
Correct.
Yeah. Chusheva.
휴식하는 콤마. 휴식하는 콤마. 달와서.
So being, I don't know, satisfied with the teaching of, or knowing the Dharma is the meaning of being free. Freedom.
Free
Kom, I don't know. Manila, do you have any idea?
콤.
I think Mikom, I know Mikom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so opposite of Mikom. Mikom,
Mikom is not time.
yeah.
Kom is time. Then what time?
Oh,
To practice
yeah.
Dharma. Have
I
time.
know, I
Have-
got it.
right.
It came to my mind. So,
You have time to practice Dharma.
yes, so kom, actually this word kom, sorry, my head is a little bit slow today. Kom is leisure. So mikom is like unleisure, lack of leisure. So
Okay.
leisure means, the freedom here, when it says freedom, it means having leisure, and what leisure means is to know the Dharma, to be able to know the Dharma. You know?
Have the time to
Chushi.
practice.
Time to Dharma.
Time to practice
Chushi.
the Dharma.
Yeah.
Okay. 그래서 다 산지 좀 된 데가 빼져나가야 다 무콤바 죄.
Yeah. So then the Buddha himself, he taught that there are 8, how do you say, lack of leisure?
Lack of leisure, lack of freedoms
Yeah.
to practice the Dharma.
이나 담아도 대제도 자유. We all free from all that.
From those eight.
But still we have not ten, right? You guys have 10? Without 10. Maybe we can put 9. We can add one more. 근데 다와 제가는 다 가상으로 시랍자리 봤어.
So there are 8 of these freedoms, and last time I think we had made it through 4 of them.
제가 나야 아니 몇 많이 좀 공부 시당 위를 그거 시했어.
Yeah, so there are the mikomba or komba?
So
Yeah.
the,
So there are the lack of leisures. There are 4 lacks of leisure. I don't know how you say that. Anyway, there are 4 non-leisures related to human beings, and 4 non-leisures related to beings who are not human.
나 하면 담보대 딱 야와케는 추시에 도움 많이 간다. 그래서 야와케가 말았어.
Right. So the first lack of leisure is being born in hell. If you are born in hell, then you have no time, no possibility to practice Dharma.
그다음 나도 대제가 먹고 말았어. We are free from that, right?
Yeah. So we have leisure related to not being born in hell.
아니 이바데 예다레스. 예다가 깨나 나도 we are all free from 예다.
Right. So the hungry ghost is the second one. The lack of leisure of being born as a hungry ghost. We are free from that.
The third one's animal or dulu.
Yeah, animals.
근데 다 dulu를 맞으면 너무 되게 free was.
So since we are not born as animals, then we're also free from the lack of leisure of being born as an animal.
아니 사실은 무엇에서 주메기 사. 예, 이게는 깨네 마실 바래야 아니 샤워게 지금까지 던지고 이게 내리는 추시가 되어요 말이죠.
Right. So then the next one is these are the let's see. Yeah, Mimayimba. So continuing the non-human one, the 4th one we are on now is the gods of the let's see, the long-lived gods of the formless realm.
the desire.
What?
The desire realm.
Of the desire realm. Sumi.
Sumeri. Formless realm.
주메다.
예.
나도 그거이다. 주메다 죽은 가오제나 가지. 하는데
Nige.
주컴님 레벨치를 사치잖아. 저는
Zukam. So of the form and the formless realm, they have both of those. But essentially, Geshe is saying, like, when you are born there, you have the lack of leisure because from the time you are born until the time you die, you are absorbed in a meditative state, a kind of thoughtless meditative state that's like being asleep. So you have no capacity to practice Dharma.
아니 심지어 가지 나라 깨네. 사이 대화라. 용쇼네. 추시가 건 먹는데. 그냥 사실은 손 차서 세네. 그냥 소리를 그랬어.
I don't know if I got everything.
Some gardens, they burn the garden, they use all the merits, they create a huge dam,
Yeah.
then they finish, then
Go down.
they go.
Yeah. So the
Anyway,
other gods who are born, these I think more like the form realm gods, they spend their entire life from birth until death enjoying the experience of bliss, which exhausts their positive karma, and then by the time that they die, they have nowhere to go but down to the hell realms. So also they, because they are distracted by the pleasures of their life, have no ability to practice Dharma either.
right? When we said 1 year, very hard walk, 8 days, 8 hours of walk every day. Then one month we could vacation. We can all the steps use, maybe then all empty, right?
So it's like working 8 hours a day very hard for the entire year, and then you go for 1 month of vacation and exhaust all of the savings that you made over that year on the vacation.
Right? What they tell right? Last
So this example is like being born as a god. So we're lucky that we are not born as those gods. So those are the lacks of leisure related to non-human beings, and now we move to the lacks of leisure. I don't know how you're supposed to say that are related to human beings.
다 당고대 라로 라스비 연다고대 제는 취지 자산 있어.
Okay, so
라 라로 같이 네 나라가를 취지 잠시로 취고 된다 하면 거기가 라로 되나
Lavo. I don't know if
The
that's
Barbarian region.
How do you call it? It's not taco. Taco money.
라로
Lavo.
네 당고 같이 되게 같이 취지 자야
Yeah, yeah.
특정 미싱이 공공이 연 당고
Okay, I have the meaning, but I think the term is, I'm used to a different term. Anyway,
야 이거 좀
the first one is to be born in a remote place, a place where it says here, if you are born in a remote, this is bottom of page 272 in the blue book, in the yellow book,
310.
310. If you are born in a remote, that is barbarian region, you will not hear a word of the Dharma. Okay, so the next is a different one. So Geshe-la is saying in those places, they are so far removed or so distant outside of, kind of, I guess civilization isn't the right word, but the Buddhism hasn't spread there. So through the entire life living in that area, you won't even hear the word Dharma.
아니 앞에서 가지다가 콜 나바시 무지사 콜 나바시 예배사사
Yeah, so then the second one is a
no
place.
no first one is 콜 나바시 예배 그래서 가지다가 콜 나바시 예배사사를 좀 바꿔서 나왔어 콜 나바시
Nabushi.
한테 자아 들어 한테 달라고 한테 말이 달라
Anila, can you get it?
콜 나바시
Kor Nabushi.
여러 가지 이게 좀
Okay, so then also for you say representatives of Buddhism, right? Like the fully ordained monks and nuns and the novice monks and nuns.
예배사사
So a place that is devoid, that is lacking those members of the Sangha. We also call those regions remote places or barbarian regions as well.
그래서 나무를 지금은 주시나
So in the lam-rim channel they explain this.
와다트 담고 단 이파테 데려다 나도 추다 투여로 나도 가지 사실 대마를 왔을 때 하고 제가 컴을 왔어 자고 왔어 we are free from this kind
Yeah, so we're free from being born in a place where the Dharma has not appeared, where there is no Dharma.
아니 야 사제 쇼 많이 왜야 내가 까면 되게 사제 쇼 많이 왜 사제 되어있나 아니 아무 주셔도 말했어
So now he's on to the example. If you are born in a place where Buddha has not come, you will not know how to practice the Dharma, or even if you do practice it, you will not do so properly. So I think this one is like referring to a world, like the entire world, right? So not just like a country where Buddha didn't go, because the Dharma spreads without Buddha, right? I'm just trying to understand the difference between the first one and the second one.
배나 사제 쇼 많이 왜 리
Yeah.
더블리 쇼님 말았어 더블리 많이 있다 쇼 많이 되는 사제 쇼 많이 사제다
Yeah, so it's like a world, basically. If you live in a world where no Buddha ever appeared, then of course you won't be able to know the Dharma or how to practice the Dharma either. So I think the first one is like, you're in a world where a Buddha has appeared, but you're in a place in that world where the Dharma hasn't spread. And then the second one is being born in a world where no Buddha has appeared altogether.
아니 당고라야 미코는 그 쌈슬래야 나 주체고 쌈을 좀 명해 너 땡기 봐 나는
Paying. I don't know.
They have no, they don't even have the ascertainment that, oh, I must practice Dharma to know the need to know about the Dharma. In the first example, in the barbaric regions.
아 사실 지나 아메리카에 사실 찍었으나 사실 쇼마님 사실 와
Yeah, there's no Buddha who came directly to America.
얘나야
He's asking, has a Buddha come to America? Is America a place where a Buddha has come? I guess you could argue. It depends.
Next month.
Yeah, next
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Yeah, sometimes some Buddhists visit here. Yeah.
anyway 그래서 같이 가서 대니가도 필요로 와서 나는 대니가 맞게 그랬어
So we're free of those two, being born in a barbarian region or a remote region, and being born in a world where no Buddha has appeared.
다 아니 다 거라 게임에 맞지. 산지 별사가 사자인 같이 여기서 제 장아서 수수만이 야무는 계시 맡아와. 야무는 미그 맡아와. 야무는 안조 맡고이나 취시할 까워요 말이스.
Right. So the third one here has to do with let's see, it's the next paragraph down. Even if you are born in a central that is a Buddhist place, if you are born an idiot with a defective or unclean mind or a mute with defective speech, you will either not understand the real purpose behind the Dharma or only go through the motions and not practice properly.
네가 예비해야 돼. 시에서 뉴스. 추스기요. 추. 담아 볼 비세비. 아니야 사트. 사트. 뉴스.
So these four related to human beings are
the center is one is center.
Central.
One is center. There are two.
There are two ways of defining what is central.
One is by the place and one is by the mind of the Dharma.
그러니까 사자시나 내가 도저히 되는데 예비라고 그래서.
Okay. You can go. It's okay.
So if we are defining a central place by the actual geographical location, then we would say that it's Bodhaya, where Buddha achieved enlightenment.
다 추스기만 하시나 아니 코로나가 시고사.
So then if we explain it by, in terms of dharmically, in terms of the Dharma being there, it's a place where those four retinues, like Buddhist retinues exist. How did you say? The novices, fully ordained monks and nuns and novice monks and nuns, where they exist.
다 대화가 좀 뭐예요.
There's also a lot of debate about that.
Oh yeah.
먼저 배 주대지 신금 나가서 배. 이나 배 주대 신금 렌드 두는 건
So then they debate whether Tibet itself is a place where a central place or not a central place, right?
배 주대 신금 나고 그래서.
Chuden Shinkam,
They call Tibet is
a world where endowed with Dharma, Shinkam, a place endowed with Dharma or not.
included read the text,
Uh-huh.
then you have Tibet.
Yeah. So in general they accept it, right? But then they argue because of the text. Is that what you were saying?
What do you guys think?
Qualification.
What do you guys think? It's not 방법은 lapse was what's quality or what's
What is the characteristic of a place that is a central region?
I think you should handle this. You are the debater.
배 자세가 나면 나도 담보 여기 있어야 돼 추스기 먹으나 내가 도저히 배 내가 도저히 딴데 알면 먹어지 이런 talk about United States we just talk about Tibet that we talk about location Tibet is not India Buddha right not central place we talk about Dharma we say the four
The four retinues,
Konamashi
the four retinues are the fully ordained monks and nuns and the novice monks and nuns.
근데 별난 딱 Konamashi 상관 안 했어
So in Tibet, those four retinues would not be complete because in Tibetan lineage, you do not have the full ordination for the nuns. So you don't have, you don't have three out of the four.
In something like the Kurshiri.
So in the world, there are four representations of the all four because in other villages,
Jana, Korean
for example, in China, Taiwan, Korea, Japan, other villages would have representation of four ordained nuns.
얘는 당한도 된 코로나 시대 개념 파만이 말았지. 개념 파만이란나? 개조 파만이 개념 파만이란나? 아니면 감각상 그랬어.
So then, if we were to, however, define the four retinues not as fully ordained monks and nuns and novice monks and nuns, but rather as ordained monks and nuns, counting two, and the other two being lay practitioners with the Kurukulla vows. What is the Sanskrit for that? Upasaka and Vasikana. So if we count the four in that way, then Tibet could be counted as a place that is in which the Dharma.
네? 나 사태마도 다 알지. 이렇게 고대가 게임이 나한테 주시로 그거 이제 그래서 show me what. Just, I don't know. It doesn't
So
matter.
that's just a side tangent.
Tangent. This is a new word.
다 되어들어. 나 로타치. 다내 두 쇼에. 다 로타치 이바이나. 다 출지. 다 제가 말 와서 로타치 해나.
So if we have wrong views, also we can't practice the Dharma.
아니 저 위에 다 출어 주고. 빅 obstacle.
Yeah, so to have a wrong view is a big obstacle to engaging with the Dharma.
와. 근데 나 로타를 가려래. 레진데요 말했어. 와. 제가 뭐 쇼요 말했어. 아니 어가 되더라고요.
So what are wrong views? For example, believing that there is no such thing as cause and effect like karma with action, and also believing there is no such thing as previous or future rebirth.
그래서 딱 같이 딱 나도 남백 시나 두종도 남백 주체가 뛰어내서 시간 뛰어내서 나고 we included Buddhism with this kind of
We think, we say that it is a fault.
for our included.
Within the context of Buddhism and Buddhist practice, to have that kind of a wrong view, we consider it to be a fault. But however, outside of this context, of course, then it's debatable what is a real fault. Different views will say that.
배배가 남백 주체와라. 아니 근데 따와 진짜 다 제도고 말라고 그랬어. 근데 따와들이 여기 제도고 말했어. 배배가 남백 주체와라. 개왕 합시다가 내 집에 캠핑이 근데 남백 주체도고 말했어.
So yeah, basically, if you're practicing Buddhism and you have the view, or you don't accept that there's cause and effect karma or past and future rebirth, there's really no way to practice the Buddhism.
그래서 나도 남백이 약보다 두번 가려요나 아니 저 겨라 저 약보다 저 겨라 저 두차요 나도 약보다 있어.
So the reason for this is because the way in which we as Buddhists determine whether something is a virtue or non-virtue or a good or bad deed to do is by saying that the virtuous action produces happiness and the non-virtuous action produces suffering.
근데 인자 개왕 엄마다 개와 치마도 나도 딱 냠내 대체로 그랬어.
So the assertion of past and future rebirths is also a part of our practice. Is that it? Just a general statement? Did I get it correct?
그래다 된지 가지 개왕 합시다 내제 캠만행이 딱 주리 제도고 말로 왔어.
So basically, if you don't accept, or if you're not willing to assert that there is cause and effect of karma and also past and future rebirths, then there's no way to practice this religion.
드리다 딱 가면 나도 남백이 시나 근데 대 남백 주체발라 딱 맞지래. 너무 말했어.
Yeah, so if we try to practice Buddhism with this type of view, then it's an impediment, or what they say in here, a great hindrance to being able to engage in practicing that.
대마도 식당 두차를 놔두고 말이야. 너무 이렇게 캠핑 간다.
So in this Buddhist context, in the context of practicing Buddhism, then we can say that to have those wrong views, there be no karmic law, cause and effect, or no future and past rebirths, that is a great hindrance, and it can be a fault. But outside of this context, just in the general sense, in the worldly convention, perhaps we cannot say that it is a fault.
나도 제가 깨서 간지 캐나게 나도 남수에서 정원도 왔어.
So
Cause-
cause
cause
and
and
condition.
effect. Cause effect. Now right now we are very comfortable temperature. Very cold, right? But this is what? Just push someone there or what? This is not that, right? This we put the air conditioner there. Then more and more walk. Then more and more air coming.
Yeah.
Then the results they're getting a little bit cold. Right?
I think that
Hint, hint.
No, it's okay.
I think the example he's need to say is that when we have an experience of being cold, for example, a little bit cold, it doesn't just magically occur.
From the
You know.
sun's side.
Yeah, it
Or
has
someone
some.
didn't also put us in that situation.
Yeah. So
These people have caused.
There's a cause
Yeah.
for this
Is too much.
this effect. And the effect is that, for example, right now in this room, it was a little cool. or Geshe was feeling a little cool. He said that this result didn't arise from its own side without any causes or conditions, nor was it created by someone else who then put us in this room in a cool environment. The cause for that is that we put on the air conditioner and it kept on going and going and going and doing its work, and then the room got colder and colder and colder, and as a result, then we felt a little more cool.
Right? 그래서 남도 남백이 cause condition that to region of we explained all of that.
So in Buddhism, this is how. So this is in such a way that we can explain in Buddhism the function of cause and effect.
Okay? 그래서 단 남도 대대나 제와라 we all free from all address. Do you think we all free from that?
From these eight non-leisures.
But I think we need to do one more.
Non-leisure suffering is a good.
I think we need to one more.
So I think Geshe is saying, even though we're free from those 8 non-leisures as classically typified in this text, we need to add one more to that 8 and make a list of 9 non-leisures.
One more 10.
It's a lack of
Free
time.
from to 10. We have no time, right? Not time. We can be free from the time.
Or maybe busyness.
I'm joking.
But isn't the definition of the kong? Yeah.
추셔발 공.
공기체니.
추셔발 뒤토여봐.
Yeah. So then it's already there.
Yeah.
It's already in all of the
It's
definition.
already integrated into it.
Because the definition includes like having what leisure means is having the time to practice Dharma.
그래서 나 방금 미리 해야 돼. 수락이 그래. 대다 치고 접통이지 말이야. 대다 첨부. We can do
Yeah,
good things, right?
So this human rebirth has the capacity to achieve incredible meaning, or there's great meaning obtainable with the human rebirth.
아니 자세 시와라. 자세 시와라 그러와. 닌디가 다와. 예전나 닌디 미리 톱다 있나? 아니 내 기와 마시나? 늘 루와. 루면서 뭐? 루와.
I know this verse in English, but I can't remember the.
루면서 how is that? Very dumb.
Stupid, foolish.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
아니 내가 뭐마이지? 뭐바.
Momba is like befuddled or like, obscured by darkness, basically. Yeah.
근데다 단 닌디 다와 있냐나 기와 붙이고 그래서 기와 맞지는 I'm the very foolish guy.
Foolish
So
and blind person.
Right. So there's a famous verse from Arya Shantideva, where he says, having seen that I've attained this human rebirth of great leisure and endowment that has the capacity to achieve so much, if I don't use it, then I'm like an idiot. Like basically, like I would be a fool to not
Nobody
use
more
it.
foolish than that.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
이한테 셴바들이 그래서 와 미 들었더니 다다 먼저 미 리에 아니 잠도 첨부를 봐도 그래서
So based on this perfect human rebirth, the natures of being, we are able to traverse
The great
the
ocean.
cross the great ocean of suffering.
And there's another verse from Shantideva. Yeah.
그래서 준들 때네 진짜 준들 대만 뭐라고 말했어.
I see. So then he's saying, like in that example, the verse, the body itself, this human rebirth is like the vessel, like the boat that you use. Then it take a
동아 추우치래서 동아 추모볼 바깥으로 그래서.
So crossing over the waters of many different types of suffering by means of the vessel of the human rebirth.
동아 차를 바깥으로 그래서.
By riding and using this boat of human rebirth, we are able to traverse the great ocean, the waters of sufferings.
근데 그 주대 근데 뭐한테 휴망하도 요야라고 말했어. Then don't slip the foolish persons. 뭔가 이만호.
Yeah, so don't the driver of the boat, I think it means the
Right, so we might not be able to get this rebirth again and again. Therefore, don't fall asleep. Don't fall
Don't be
asleep.
stupid,
Don't be
basically.
kind of shrouded in
뭔가
with night ignorance.
yeah.
a blindness to this precious opportunity and waste it by falling asleep.
어때다 나하고 베르다니 샤리다 박송을
Yeah, so these are taught by the Indian Pandit Shantideva.
아니 지는 못 치느냐 답변은 뭐네 다위 때도 이제 너를 락 내가 네 받다리 잠시겠어
Yeah, I think so. So this one also, the Jetson Kappa also has a verse related to this one. Having obtained the wish-fulfilling jewel,
다위 때도 이제 너를 락 내가 네 받다리 잠시 내가 네 받으면서 also we get, we find, we cheap.
Yeah.
We cheap this human levels only this time.
Yeah. So then having achieved this wish-fulfilling jewel of the human rebirth with the Dawa Gye, so having those freedoms and endowments, we won't use it now because we won't get it again. Right? Nyeba
Never
Duchik.
defined.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's very exceedingly difficult to find and
Very easily lost.
yeah,
like
easily lost. Yeah.
Like a lightning in the sky.
Yeah. I know this one from the Yenchik Nenchik Nyebe Dawe Densang Shindu Nyega. Yeah. Yeah, there's another verse just similar to that one that I remember. That having found this precious human rebirth this one time, which is very difficult to find and easy to lose, don't fritter away your life. Basically, seize the essence of it right now. So.
Anyway, talk about a little bit to practice. Don't, also,
So think about the benefits of virtue and the drawbacks of non-virtue, negativity. I think again, slowly.
We follow the non-virtues, anger, attachment, jealousy.
Taro is jealousy.
Yeah. When we follow them, there is
If
non-virtue.
we are under their control and led by them honestly and follow them, then that is called non-virtue. So whenever it is necessary, it is important for us to take care of our own minds, to be in control of our own minds. And it's because because of not being in control of our own minds that we have and being led by these solutions that we have a lot of suffering.
So when we engage in those, we think very strongly, I.
I need it, I want to use that, right? Therefore we have a lot of problems coming. And last week I went to some other place, then one guy, he said, how you give up, you lose it.
Give up what? Give up Buddhism?
No, not give up. Give up means,
Give up is power.
some kangi power. So give up.
To abandon.
Abandon. Anyway, he told me, I have a lot of problems. What can I do? He asked me, what Buddhism explains, I have a lot of problems. I said, don't think about always I. He said, why? I think it's I. What's wrong? I told him, what are your problems? I got a lot of bills. Therefore you say I. You use a lot of things, then you get a lot of bills. You don't use things, then you don't get bills. You say, I need a phone, I need electricity, I need a car, I need that. Say I, then you get a lot of bills. Otherwise, if you don't use the things, then you don't get bills. Oh. It's true, right? You always think, I say, I need that. Then a lot of bills, of course, can be used to that. Then we little bit less use, or less use.
Yeah, reduce. Yeah.
Yeah, less use. Then we don't get much bills. No, Lula's today this morning we little cold. With all and it's also heat, no heat also. Air condition, I'm hot. Then electricity bills little go up, right? Then we got to be cold and say, oh, I need to heat. Then we put the heat. Then I get electricity go up, right? Yeah, Lula there, right? Then we go to Ronald and we use this car. Somebody we say, oh, I need to go beach and then we use a lot of car. Then we use gas. Then we have to pay again gas. Anyway, Lula there, usually Buddhism also believes that very strong I, try to left I. Then you have less problem. You always follow the I, then you have always problems. For example, we have husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, family, some argument coming, right? Yes, we have the I. Because he or she doesn't listen to what I said, what I want. Therefore we have the problem, right? I and ego, no?
Ego. Yeah.
Ego.
Maja, ego.
Ego line.
Yeah, ego, right? He said, oh, we always think what I said, what I do, I'm right. He or she doesn't know, the little ones. I'm right. Then they have an argument coming, right? Two strong egos come together, then they, what call it, hit each other, then they broken, right? Therefore, first man was I, then I bring the attachment, anger, ego, I stand behind that, and he, what call it, mommy.
Yeah. He sends his soldiers. I is like that.
The Army General.
Yeah, the general.
Then they bring a lot of problems for us. But we don't really know how cool it is.
We don't really understand that.
And then on the more
That's why we will say we are I don't know, benighted or
Blind, I guess.
Yeah.
Blind.
yeah.
and they say that more ni malos don't sleep.
Yeah. So he's saying like you blind one, don't sleep.
Okay, that's a little bit, but that's never going to then you have any questions? Today you have not no more questions.
Any questions?
You have any other questions?
If he doesn't touch
I have a question about what you said at the beginning. When we think about the Buddha can't transfer realizations to us to make us enlightened, and I'm wondering what do we think about the visualizations that we do, say doing Vajrasattva practice, where we visualize nectar and purification and good qualities coming from the Buddha to us. What can you say what the meaning is of that, the visualizations that we do?
So by doing those kind of visualizations, then we amass a huge amount of merit. So when we imagine the bodies of the Buddhas in front of us, those kind of things, visualizations, and including the Buddhas there, we are amassing ourselves a lot of virtue. It's a little bit too fast for me
So,
to
for
catch.
example, if it, other than that, if Buddha could wash away or give us realizations or wash away our defilements just by pouring water on us, then we would all be enlightened by now. We would have achieved that long, long time
You can finish.
So, by guiding us in such a way, in those ways, then the Buddha helps us to accumulate a lot of merit and to abandon, to purify our negativities. For example, if in our mind we feel some kind of difficulty, so depending on changing just a little bit, even a slight inflection of the way of thinking in our minds, we can dispel that sense of suffering.
수세마 땡기는 사마이나 수세마 대화 연구도 좋고 그래서.
And if we were to actually visualize in our minds the Buddhist bodies and then the different visualization of the nectars of different lights at the different points of the body absorbing into us and so forth, and doing those types of visualizations, if you really think about it, then it actually makes us feel good, makes us feel happy.
관심 감소고 지금 개와 쌓야리 탑시 쏘는 거 속쌓야리 탑시는 거죠.
So it's actually a method for us to be able to accumulate merit.
산지가 꼴라야 대박 매니지 따와 있나 쏘는 거 도망못 싸우게 하려고 그러봤어.
So even if we were to watch or see the Buddhist body, even without faith, that would also cause us to accumulate a lot of merit.
그래서 먼저 대파 이어왔지. 대화 이어되면서 대대 마치 소소로 지금 딱 늦은 먹는 거에서 딱 데려서는 소망못 싸우게 그래.
Therefore, if we actually have faith and then see the Buddhist bodies and do those kind of visualizations, then we accumulate a lot of merit.
아니 쏘는 전부 영향 못 되라. 아니 다 같이 먹고 내가 기도하고 말해.
And so for those for a being who has accumulated a lot of merit, you can also get rid of a lot of obstacles.
쏘는 때문에 미 이상만 넘긴 없어.
So a person with a great amount of merit can accomplish.
쏘는
Sunam
미 이상만 남긴 없.
So it's a quote by Nagarjuna where he said, "One with merit will accomplish all one's wishes, one's thoughts."
쏘는 때문에 대도 누가 더 주세.
And those with merit can also purify or clear away, remove all suffering.
어떻게 해서만 먼저 미사 지기 밤만 쭉 보이나 같이 남로 침보이고 같이 남로 명하용도 왔어.
So that even for let's say siblings in the same family, the same mother and father, some
남로 침보, successful.
Well, some's very successful and some can be very having failures in life.
Yeah. But the parents they grow up same level. They try to give same education. But why they didn't come in? They all karma. Some has good merit, and they're more success. Some have not merit, or not
They have
success.
failures.
Right?
They have no success.
어떤 연구요에다 간지 what to stress, okay?
So it's something like that.
Something like that. Then, okay.
I have a question kindly about the nature of my struggle about attaining. Thank you very much. I have a question kindly, maybe you can help me, Geshe, now with the nature of contemplation, of the nature of how to reach clarity and one-pointedness within the desire internally, that which the Buddhist path command the nature of non-desire. It feels to me that the seed of a flower has to strive for a love. And so clarity, the attainment of clarity and one-pointedness within the context of what you spoke this morning about not having time to practice and be practical about the nature of our desires, it feels to me that I'm going to remember your name kindly, the nun, she used the word repress. It feels to me when I look at nature, it doesn't repress. So the clarity of the practice is what, at this moment in my life, by the demand of material need to live life on a day-to-day basis, and yet to maintain that one-pointedness with smiles, with gentleness, with bodhicitta.
What's the question? I didn't understand.
Clarity.
So it
To
just
attain clarity and one-pointedness in that which was spoken this morning in the context of time, a very busy life of being practical in our life. So what is a practice
okay.
that would really help me internally, beside the mantra Mane Padme Hum, since you offered word of teaching this morning, that if you are not into the central place of the holy Dharma and the holy duty of the Dharma, the Sangha, and taking refuge, there is always a pull with those we love, with those we do at work, with everything, driving here, coming here. And so this clarity, to keep that order, to keep that clarity on a moment to moment to moment. We don't live in the temple every day, but we can make our home like a temple. But the truth is that we need the teaching, but it's more important how to attain that clarity, independently of many things.
세워당 세직이 세워 디셈기 세워당 디 세직 팅에 말이니 디 야무시다 하고 있는데
Something else, 세직. 나 단단히 모란기 체험은 상승 망보율이 상승 내가 유리 남이 유리 자야 내가 제일 망보율이 내가 제일 망보율이 이 관계에서 이 구동된 산타 세월당 세직의
냠냠 야무시다 하고 있는데 얘네 뭐 니엔달 라칸라 저쪽에 말해 된 이네 와서 닝 나와 라칸 잡고 이래 라칸 잡고 삼바 이래
대시다 중요한 지금 인지 연달 나가는 거 말해.
So in order to practice the Dharma, first of all, you don't need to go to the temple every day, as you said.
아니 간지 수수 강화 요 바다 강 툭툭 지거든요. 강 툭툭.
So it's not a matter of being in a holy surrounding every day, like coming to the temple every day. It's a matter of whenever you have time, within your own context, within your own situation, to practice what you can.
간지 수수 셈바지로 헬레가로 제도 방으로 택하신 거였어요.
So to have a relaxed mind is of great importance. So some people, some of us might think, why can't I do this? Why isn't it happening to me? And start to get stressed or have kind of a tight mind. And at that time, you need to think about why the reason, the cause, why certain difficulties might be rising in your life at that time. So most of the time it's because of a mistaken way of thinking in your mind that these difficulties arise, or you feel that there are difficulties. Okay, so it is the principal aspect, or the principal part of creating virtue is the mind, right? And so then if you have a good motivation, a good mind, and a virtuous mind, then if you were to be sleeping all day, you'd still be creating good imprints. So if you know how, you can create virtue even by eating or sleeping or walking, whatever you're doing, you can create virtue. It depends on the mind. Something like that.
Any other questions?
Geshe, in terms of purification, you're doing Bhajadara or 35 Buddha practice. When you're doing the practice, you're visualizing the Buddhas, you're saying their names, You prostrate. So you're purifying your mind, your speech, your body. But it's your effort that's purifying yourself. It's not the Buddha's purifying you. It's your mind. It's the practice. It's the method. That is, am I getting this correct? It's not the Buddha's purifying all my negative karma. It's my practice of it, my faith, my refuge, that is actually purifying me.
그 등샤단 도지sembe 냐는 제도 이 상계당 도지sem바 공기 뒷바 컨디션이 사와
사지 말이.
야 사고치기 말이 코랑기 셈바 뒷바 사고치기 디타다를
근데 코랑기 셈낭기 연대 내바다 양교다 네 코랑기 순들 네 델라테네 네 코랑기 디판 데레사 다기리 네 번이 대번이리 말이
대문이. This is correct.
That's
이네
correct.
뭐네 얘네디 mikpa 개발이 개미열
밀파 사제 고라를 응이네. 둔더라 소소 조샤체네. 제가 수수대파 수수다고 사진 수수대파 그랬다고 도만.
So it's correct. What you are saying is correct. That it's not like some power came from a Buddha to you that purified away. It really is your visualization and motivation, observing an object which is a virtuous object, such as the Buddha. Isn't it?
Yes, it's by your own effort, basically.
Your own effort.
It's
You
your
may-
own effort.
이네 미국 개주 요리 개가 요리. 디 상계라 상계 미국 체나 디 야가래. 가데 그런 모다야. 에자 미국 요나. So I'm saying, just for the sake of argument, there is something special about the object of visualization being the Buddha,
Right.
versus, for example, if you do some practice where you visualize the thing that you really want, a yacht or
Right.
lots of money or something over and over, it's not the same.
The
So
virtue is in the Buddha.
right, not necessarily, but I think it's the object, the virtuous object has something to do with you always, because you feel that it's virtuous. So that's the thing. But there's something special about the Buddha, I think. I just want to make that my own argument.
Dependent origination, right? Dependent origination, because
Yeah.
there is power of the object, obviously, of the holy object.
There is power in the
Yes, of
object.
course. There is the power of the objects from their side, but then without your effort connecting with that, you wouldn't be able to have a successful practice.
Right. I wouldn't gain any merit.
Right. Otherwise, the Buddha's, if it were only dependent on the power of the objects, as Geshe Ngawang earlier said, we'd all be enlightened by now.
Right.
단다 사직이 고라데 때지도
Thank you.
The power of the
Power of the
basis.
basis. Yeah.
아니 소소 차 사와당 둘이 제와당도 니목까지 했다.
So then our own efforts of like prostration and so forth is a power of the antidote. Like in the context of the four atomic powers.
Good, yeah. You really good understand. Very good. Okay, Pat.
Is there also power in the meaning of the object, in knowing the meaning of the object in order to accomplish, the Dharma practices and whatever you want to accomplish? The meaning of the object. For
Right.
instance, the Manchuri, wisdom, the wisdom
Yeah.
of Buddha. Okay, to recite the mantra for Manchuri, okay, is beneficial, I believe, to obtain wisdom, but is not it also powerful to understand what one is reciting and looking to in terms of Manchuri or any other, even the Buddha? The meaning of what one recites or the mantras that we recite.
The 잠배양기 잠배양이 락나 이네 그런 잠배양이 락 된다 하마코나 데네 또 요레티스 컨디션이 땡기도
리버 열어.
누가 요레
제발 요리 말에 그나 돈다 하고양다 하고메 되니까
제발 열었어. 된다 하고에나 되는 리버 채 열었어. 수술해야 대파이나 수술 때 저는 채 열었어. 리버 한 먹고 싶다 편통 열었어. 편통 좀 줘야 열었어. 제발라 리버 하고에 야.
So he said that he thinks that if you understand the thing, the object that you're practicing, if you understand what Manjushri is, that it has the capacity to function. Like how do you say nupa? It's yeah, it has ability or power. He thinks also though, even if you don't know, it's possible that there is some benefit, even if you don't know. But in his opinion, knowing is better, because then you engage faith, which also brings more, good qualities and things in its wake. So
There also one of the Europe faith. One India the masters, his disciple come to see him, and he told him, go away. Tibetan called Maju to go away. He thought this is some blessing will come.
advice.
Advice for him. He does not advise. He said, go away.
like an esoteric instruction.
He said, go away. But he thinks this is advice for him. Then he said, go away, go away, go away. He decided, he think about it. Also, he get more benefit for it. It's all this part of this chest. Some place they say. That is also more big workers. Never change what.
Negachambo, like a central point. Yeah.
The certain point of faith is what is very important. If you don't have faith, even Buddha come to here, he said, teach it. If you don't have faith, then because they don't change any of our minds because we don't have faith. We don't respect God, right? Faith is very important. Also, example, one Tibetan, I think maybe you guys heard maybe 100 times. In the Tibet, I don't know, community or some mother and son. The son go to the Lhasa, Central Tibetan. The mother ask her, when you go to Lhasa, please bring for me Buddha's treat. Then son go to Lhasa, he do all the whatever things, he go back. When he saw that his parents in his mom's house, then he remembered, oh, my mom asked me to bring Buddha's treat. I forgot, he don't have anything. Then he just looking around, he saw one dog's skull there. He go there, then he cut the dog's treat. He put very nice slick things. He said, give mom, this is Buddha's treat. And mom is a very, very strong faith. She thought this is a real Buddha's treat. Then she put the altar, she put a lot of offerings, then she got a blessing. Blessing from that. Then for us, we say, oh, because the Lama, Buddha, teaching, we have said that, but usually we have not enough to faith. We always say that. You like that. Then another question? Yes.
So in relation to all these questions, they seem to be somewhat interconnected in terms of how we obtain merit from having faith and doing practices. And then if we dedicate our merit, or the merit accumulated to others, or if we say prayers for the health and well-being of others who are maybe sick, for example, how does that work?
We do some virtues, we dedicate for ourselves, right? For just one subject. Then we think about all the beings. The power of the object, the law of objects, then we get more merit from that.
Yeah, no, that's correct. I think you could understand, right? So again, it comes to the same thing that, so we are talking about in a way, when you're accumulating merit through these practices, a major portion of the work of accumulating merit really comes from your side. Having the mind that thinks, that views the Buddha as a meritorious object, or the highest, best qualities that can ever exist, even reflecting on that and thinking of that generates merit. Then when you dedicate the merit, if you dedicate only to yourself, the object that you are bringing to mind when you dedicate that merit is very limited. It's only you. When you bring to mind all sentient beings, the benefit of all sentient beings, again you are engaging in a practice that brings to mind something amazing, like really surpassing anything, any other object that you could give something to. You can give to one person, your aunt or your uncle, but to all sentient beings is like, you are having a heart, a mind that wants to give it to every sentient being, like all of them.
지난기 썸 줄 때 성질 얘기도 썸을 봤어. 얘기도.
So the way of thinking, the way of thinking when you do that dedication is for the benefit of others.
So if the illness is there, you offer the illness to the sentient beings, correct?
The what?
No. She's talking about illness.
No, I think
No,
she's talking
what
about
I'm-
wishes.
She's talking about dedicating the merit at the end.
Yes, so
I think maybe she's asking, questioning about when we dedicate the merit from our practice for the benefit of others, for those who are ill and so forth, perhaps how effective,
How does it benefit them?
how does it actually benefit them? So
If
the
we're
efficacy
I see, I see.
for
Them,
for them.
Champagne,
Because we're doing a
candid,
practice, right?
candid.
콘솔에.
코스는 내 팬도 유리요 많이.
콘솔에 가서 니빠에다 팬 토요가 되나 가서 니빠처럼 콘솔처럼 가서 팬 토토만 해나 가서 솔직히 개와 고는 팬 그래서.
So if we have the ability to power realizations, then it can be a benefit to those that we are dedicating specifically to. But if we don't have that many realizations and the power to be able to do that, then at the very least we are gaining merit by doing so.
얘나야 아무도 관계가 쌈반 남다기 무슨 슈슈 잡아 있나 땡데 파초가 팬 토고 그래서.
But because of the power of deep origination, then it can, if you really make the dedication of prayer with a strong concentration and power, then it can be a benefit. For example, karmic relationship issue, is that what you're saying?
왜나 쌈반 남다기 무슨 슈슈 잡아.
So if you, with the perfect mind, so with the perfect pure mind, if you think, if you make those dedications.
왜나 남주고 샤텐 손에 남들 팬이 들어왔어. 샤텐 야갈 손에 민들레나 밀 팬도 팬이 들어와.
So for example, if we request for pujas and so forth, long life prayers and pujas, for example, in India, then it can benefit the person, the beneficiary of those pujas here in America.
그래서 다들 쏘는 거 속, 백에도 쏘는 마음도 소모서, 대도 쏘는 소모보 수르 전에 나도 가말 팬도 거예요.
And so then, because for example, at the assembly of the Sangha, the monks, when we were being monks in India, for example, because of the power of the accumulation of merit that they have created, that it can then in turn be a benefit to various beings.
근데 얘나 또 남손되네 르 전에 대리 문 잡아 있나? 대리 문은 되게 쏘고 나서 수술해야지. 그래 개왕 뭐 받고 그래서 마음으로 그래. 지발 와올 말이지.
So then, we make the sincere effort to make prayers in that way, to think in those ways, and it can increase our own virtues and merit.
던지려 말이지. 시도 맞아 문은 잡았는데 미 파초 배기 생시 파 신박이 누가 요마가 뭐 소토고 말했어. 나서 내가
So usually by
그래요.
praying in that way, we cannot eliminate someone else's illness.
던지 지어야는 산지 좀 된데 너만은 가도 제사로.
If that were possible, then the Buddha would have eliminated all of our sufferings and illnesses all the time.
또 수수 생체 파초바 수수를 내나 까와라. 따라래 봐요 그래서. 내나 딸래.
So then it's mainly to do with the karma of those beings.
Conditions, cause conditions.
Cause and conditions of those beings.
Right? We need to condition. If something is sick, maybe I'm sick, but the monks they pray for me and you sleep there. They will not.
Do not recover.
You will not cover. You have to go hospital. No, they also have cause conditions. All of
It's
that.
always an interdependent relationship, dependent origination.
But 간제다 난주까지는 뭐와 몇십백치는 뭐와 쳐야 돼. 또 소수 개와 마음으로 해서 지금
And so then whenever we make dedications and prayers for others, its main thing is that it actually increases our own merits and virtues.
but also depending on the virtue and realizations of those individuals who join the prayers.
Then it can affect and benefit others as well. But at the very least, it's sure to increase our own merits and virtues.
Okay?
Thank you.
And the last thing should be say, by dedicating to by increasing your virtue, dedicating for the benefit of others, also moving yourself closer to Buddhahood,
Not to be enlightened.
which in the end is the benefit of other sentient beings. So I think Buddhism has a very long scope when they think about practice, many lifetimes. So
It's very good training. We have the 2 PhDs here. Okay.
We have 3 PhDs, Geshe La.
Right.
You can recite the Tara.
Buddhist.
You forgot, right? Yeah, first mantra, mandala, then we can do Tara.
Yeah. Okay. So Thanksgiving mandala on page 39.